In the heart of a quiet, enchanted village, nestled between towering mountains and whispering forests, Olivia spent her days as an apprentice in her cozy apothecary shop. Shelves lined with glass bottles, dried herbs, and mysterious powders surrounded her as she worked. The shop always smelled of lavender and rosemary, with the gentle crackle of a fireplace warming the room on chilly afternoons. Olivia's long, wavy brown hair flowed freely down her back, and her large blue eyes sparkled with curiosity as she mixed ingredients for various potions. One day, as she was reorganizing some old books in the shop, Olivia stumbled upon a dusty, leather-bound tome passed down from her grandmother. Its worn pages were filled with ancient recipes for potions and remedies, most of which she had never tried. As she wiped away the dust and opened the book, something unusual caught her eye. Nestled between pages of healing elixirs and sleeping tonics was a recipe for a love potion. Olivia paused, her heart skipping a beat as she traced the delicate handwriting on the page. The potion was said to be centuries old, designed to bind two hearts together forever, but only if the love was true. Olivia hesitated, her fingers hovering over the ingredients list. Could this really work? The very idea of a love potion seemed both thrilling and dangerous. She scanned the ingredients. Dew from a moonlit rose, honey from enchanted bees, the petal of a sun-kissed flower. The list was both exotic and beautiful, and Olivia couldn't help but feel a spark of excitement as she imagined what might happen if she were to brew it. Just as she was lost in thought, the bell above the shop door jingled softly, snapping her back to reality. She quickly closed the book and tucked it under the counter, her heart still racing from the discovery. In walked Liam, a tall, handsome newcomer to the village. He had broad shoulders and a muscular build, and there was something about the way he carried himself that made Olivia feel both flustered and intrigued every time he visited. Liam had only recently moved to the village, but he had quickly become a familiar face around town, helping out wherever he could. He approached the counter with his usual easy smile, his warm brown eyes glinting in the sunlight that streamed through the shop's windows. As he stepped closer, Olivia felt a flutter in her chest, though she wasn't sure if it was the afterglow of the love potion recipe she had just read, or the effect Liam had on her every time they spoke. "Afternoon, Olivia," Liam said, his voice steady and calm. "I found some more herbs near the old manor. Thought you might be able to tell me what they are." He placed a small bundle of plants on the counter, their leaves slightly wilted but fragrant. Olivia leaned in to examine them, her fingers brushing against his as they both reached for the herbs. A slight, electric thrill shot through her at the contact. She quickly pulled her hand back and focused on the task at hand, though her thoughts were far from steady. "These are rare," she said, her voice sounding more confident than she felt. "Where did you say you found them?" "Just outside the old manor," Liam replied, watching her intently. "There's an overgrown garden behind it, full of strange plants like these. You should come see it sometime. It's like a hidden world out there." Olivia smiled softly, feeling the invitation linger in the air between them. She had always been curious about the old manor, a place surrounded by rumors and mystery. The idea of exploring it with Liam filled her with excitement, though she tried not to show it too much. "I'd love to," she said, her voice light. "Maybe one day." They continued to talk for a while, Liam asking about the uses of different herbs, Olivia doing her best to explain while trying to keep her racing thoughts in check. The conversation flowed easily, but beneath it, Olivia couldn't shake the memory of the love potion recipe. What if? As Liam left the shop, promising to return with more findings from his explorations, Olivia found herself glancing back at the book under the counter. She bit her lip, her mind spinning with possibilities. Should she? Could she? The temptation was overwhelming. What harm could there be in mixing a potion, just to see if it worked? It wasn't like she was planning on using it. Was she? Later that evening, as the village grew quiet and the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the sky in shades of pink and orange, Olivia made up her mind. She couldn't resist the curiosity any longer. She gathered the ingredients for the love potion, one by one, carefully measuring each one according to the ancient recipe. The shop was filled with the soft glow of candlelight as she worked. The ingredients shimmered in the flickering light as Olivia combined them, the potion beginning to take on a soft, rosy glow. The delicate scent of roses and honey filled the air, and Olivia couldn't help but smile as the potion finally came together. It was beautiful, almost magical, in the way it swirled inside the glass vial. Olivia held the vial up to the light, admiring the way it seemed to glow from within. For a moment, she considered what might happen if someone were to drink it. The thought made her heart skip a beat, but she quickly brushed it aside. It was just an experiment, nothing more. She placed the vial on the counter, intending to store it away later. But little did she know, the events of the following morning would change everything. The next day, the bell above the shop door rang once more, and Liam stepped inside, just as he had promised. He greeted her with his usual warm smile, and Olivia felt her heart flutter in response. He had come to retrieve the herbs he had left behind, but as he reached for them, his hand brushed against the glowing vial that still sat on the counter. Before Olivia could react, Liam picked up the vial, curiosity flashing in his eyes. "What's this?" he asked, examining the shimmering liquid inside. Olivia opened her mouth to warn him, but the words caught in her throat. Before she could stop him, Liam lifted the vial to his lips and drank it in one swift motion. Olivia gasped, her heart pounding in her chest as she watched him place the empty vial back on the counter. "Liam!" she exclaimed, her voice filled with panic. That wasn't just a drink." Liam blinked, looking confused. "What do you mean?" Olivia could barely find the words. Her mind raced as she tried to explain, but before she could get far, she noticed something shift in Liam's expression. His confusion melted away, replaced by a soft, almost tender look. He gazed at her with an intensity that made her heart race even faster. For a moment, Olivia stood frozen, unsure of what to do. Was this the effect of the potion? Or was there something more at play here? Something that had always been there, just beneath the surface? Liam's gaze lingered on hers, and Olivia couldn't deny the pull she felt toward him. Liam smiled, a warm, easy smile that made Olivia's breath catch. "Olivia," he said softly, "I don't know what was in that vial, but I think it's working." They both laughed, the tension between them easing as they stood there, the air between them charged with something unspoken. Later that day, Liam suggested they take a walk through the village, and Olivia, still reeling from the events of the morning, agreed. They strolled side by side through the cobblestone streets, the sun now high in the sky, casting a golden glow over the village. Birds chirped in the distance, and the sound of villagers going about their day filled the air. It was a perfect, peaceful morning. Yet Olivia's thoughts were anything but calm. As they walked, they talked about the village, about life, about the small joys and challenges they had each faced. The conversation was light-hearted, but Olivia couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was happening between them. Each smile, each glance seemed to carry a weight of its own, and Olivia found herself wondering more and more. Was this the potion's doing? Or had she and Liam always had this connection? The walk took them past the village fountain, where they paused to rest. The sound of the water gently trickling down the stone echoed around them, creating a serene backdrop. Olivia's heart was pounding in her chest as she turned to face Liam, knowing that she couldn't keep the truth hidden any longer. "Liam," she began, her voice soft but steady. "There's something I need to tell you." He looked at her, his expression open and curious, as she explained everything: the love potion, the ancient recipe, and how he had accidentally consumed it. She expected him to be upset, or at least shocked, but to her surprise, Liam just smiled. "I don't think a potion could make me feel this way," he said gently. This feels real." Olivia's heart swelled at his words. Could it be true? Could the connection between them really be more than just the effects of the potion? As they stood there, the moment hanging between them like a delicate thread, Olivia realized that she didn't care anymore. Whatever had sparked between them, whether it was magic or something else, it felt real. And that was all that mattered. As the sun set, casting the village in a warm, golden glow, Olivia and Liam found themselves alone by the fountain once more. The world around them seemed to fade away, leaving just the two of them in the quiet of the evening. Liam stepped closer, his eyes never leaving hers. Olivia's heart raced as she felt the warmth of his hand gently brush against hers. And then, in the soft light of the setting sun, Liam leaned in and kissed her. It was a kiss filled with all the emotions they had been holding back. A kiss that felt like it had been waiting to happen for a long, long time. As they pulled away, Olivia knew, deep in her heart, that this was more than magic. This was real. From that day on, Olivia and Liam were inseparable. They spent their days exploring the village together, sharing stories by the fire and finding joy in the simple things. Their love had blossomed, not because of a potion, but because of the connection they had always shared. As they strolled hand in hand through the village, under the warm morning sun, Olivia knew that sometimes the most powerful magic wasn't found in potions or spells. Sometimes it was found in the simple, beautiful act of two hearts finding each other. And that was their happily ever after.